Hey guys, it's me. It's your old pal, Uncle Johnjohn. And today is a very special day. I'm telling this story on Valentine's Day. But maybe you're not hearing this story on Valentine's Day. Or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, because I have a YouTube channel, but it's maybe not Valentine's Day. But maybe it is. Uncle Johnjohn thinks every day should be Valentine's Day. And your mom, and your dad, and maybe your other mom, or your other dad, and all the people who are the grown-ups, they should treat every day like a Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is really cool. So that is why I'm wearing my Valentine's Day tie, and I have Valentine's Day Chinese decorations behind me, so it can look very, very cool. And because it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to tell a love story. Yeah. And do you know who could tell the best love stories and draw the best love story pictures? The Greeks. So I'm going to tell you a story that is from the Greeks from a long time ago. So let's get started. The beginning of this story, there's a line of Greek warriors, men and women, with cool Greek warrior outfits and armor and helmets and hats and stuff, and they're waiting to go inside some cool building, because the Greeks had cool buildings. They're tall, they were stone, but they were white stone. It's white stone, single piece of white stone. And the doors were made of a single piece of white stone. And this beautiful woman with long hair and a long dress is opening this door to let this long line of warrior people in. And that's exactly what they do. They go inside. And there's like a judge, right? It's a judge. And inside this building is this judge. And he's going to judge the soldiers, these warriors, on their physical ability, like what they can do. He's going to say, okay, what can you do? So we're going to give you some contests. I'm going to give you some tests, and there's going to be a contest, and who can win the contest is going to be like the best warrior. So the first one, he walks up. He's a guy, but he's wearing a dress because he feels comfortable wearing a dress. But also, the judge is also wearing a dress, so I kind of get the feeling that in the ancient days, the ancient Greeks all wore dresses. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's probably really hot there, so it's probably a lot more comfortable to wear dresses, So anyway, this cat, he walks up and he's got a spear. And he walks up and he holds out his spear and he says, "Hey man, I'm gonna climb up this spear to the very top. I'm just gonna climb it, because I bet you've never seen anybody do that before." And the judge is like, "That is not a really good idea. In fact, that is really, really kind of boring. So don't do that. Don't do that. Just go stand in a corner and just like practice giving speeches, because that's what Greeks used to do. Is they used to give speeches, and they were very good at giving speeches. And so that's what this young man did. He went in a corner with his spear, and he made up a speech. And I don't remember how it went, because in the next part, it's a shoving contest. So another young warrior says, "Hey, check me out. I'm like super strong. I'm really good at shoving people." And so he walked up to this old man and he said, "Hey, old man, I'm gonna shove you." And the judge was like, "No, don't do that. That's not cool. Don't do that. Don't shove people, because it's not good to shove people. You don't wanna be somebody who shoves other people. You ever see someone push someone down? And how do you think the other person feels when they fall down? Do you think they feel really good? I don't think they feel pretty good. I bet they feel pretty bad. So I don't like people who push and shove. Even if you think they might have a good reason, you shouldn't have to do that. And so that's what the judge said too. The judge said you don't have to do that. Don't do that. That's not cool, and it's against the rules. But the young man was like, "Yeah, I don't care about your rules, because I'm somebody who breaks all the rules. I can do what I want." So he went to push this old man, but what he didn't know is that this old man was an old warrior, and he was a master of Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is the art of fighting without fighting. And he used his nimble Tai Chi skills. He had so much kung fu that he just stood there and just stroked his beard like I'm stroking right now. I'm stroking my beard, except I don't have a cool beard like this old man. This old man has like a really cool beard. Anyway, but I'm pretending I have a really cool beard. And he's stroking it. And as the young man goes to push him out of the way, push him down, the old man goes whoosh, and he just steps aside, and the young man is reaching over, and he loses his balance, and he falls down, on his butt, and everybody laughed at him, and the young soldiers like really embarrassed, and was telling everybody, stop laughing at me, and he got up and he walked really mad to the corner where the other man was giving a speech to his spear. Yeah. I wonder what happens next. I wonder what happens next is your eyes get really sleepy. You get really sleepy, and you breathe in, and you breathe out, and you breathe in. You hold it, and then you breathe out. And you breathe in, and you breathe out, and you close your eyes while you're listening to me, and you start to feel really sleepy, and you feel like you wanna fall asleep, and maybe you do. Maybe you fall asleep. Oh, and maybe you dream of really cool Greek warriors who don't like try to climb up spears, because that's a dumb idea, or push down old people, because that's not nice. Instead, what they do is they have a barbecue. That's what they do. Yeah, that's their contest. Who can have like the best barbecue? That'd be really cool. So what else do they do? That's a good question. So the next thing that they do is they make the letter M. Okay, what they do. What I'm trying to say is, this is how in Greek stories they would start a new part of the story. with letters and very creative letters. So maybe they chose the letter M. Hey, I'm gonna start a new story, or a new chapter in the story, and the way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna show you a letter, just send you a letter. But today's letter is the letter M. And what are some M words? What are some M words? What are some M words that you think of when you think of Valentine's Day? How about mom? Yeah. How about miss? Like maybe when you think about your teacher at school, maybe her name is Miss Smith or Miss Jones. How about Mary? But Mary makes sense for Merry Christmas. But you don't say Merry Valentine's Day. We say Happy Valentine's Day. How about murmur? Murmur. That's what your heart does when it wants to talk to you. Sometimes the doctor will tell you, oh, your heart has a heart murmur, and that means your heart is trying to talk to you. And that's a nice thing. Isn't that nice? Having a heart murmur to you while you're asleep? I think that's a nice thing. Unless the doctor says it's not a nice thing. In that case, that's too bad. But anyway, it's time to tell the next part of the story, which is okay. So in every sports competition, you have the beautiful people, right, who are watching the sports, and they're just like hanging out, being beautiful people. And so here we have uh, three people. This guy and his girlfriend. They're wearing like Greek costumes, and they're like, and the one dude, like, he's like super buff because he's got his armor on his girl, and he's also carrying a huge vase. Maybe he's gonna put flowers in it. And then there's this other dude who's just like a real hunky dude. Like, he's wearing a dress too, but he's not wearing a dress because like it's super warm. Like, he's actually has like his shirt off, and he's just wearing his dress because he's like, hey man, I'm gonna be like in Braveheart, you know, where the Scottish warriors are gonna run around in their kilts and like start fighting bad dudes, you know. I don't think I don't think that's what happens in Braveheart, but anyway, a boy can dream. Anyway, I am jealous of this hunky dude who has like a really bad haircut and a bad beard trim, but he doesn't care because he's a hunky dude. He can have any hair he wants. He can have any beard he wants because he still look like a hunky dude. You know, hunky dudes can carry it off. I can't carry it off. I really need a haircut. Uncle Johnjohn, if you're watching the video, he needs a haircut and he needs to shave his beard because he looks like, you know, a guy that lives down by the train tracks and wants to hitch a ride on the train to go from town to town so he can get, you know, some jobs. But he doesn't want to have like an office job. He wants like a job where he's free, you know. But if you're not watching the video, you're just hearing my voice, well, then you don't know that my hair is a mess and I need a haircut and my beard needs to be shaved. You don't know that. But you also don't know that I have a cool Chinese background and I have a Valentine's Day tie on, which is to celebrate Valentine's Day, but it's coming off, actually. Here, I'm going to fix it. Okay. All right, now it's back on. So what happens next in our story? So the hunky dudes and the girls are watching a race, a sailing race on the sailboats. Yeah, so it's like I don't know, like one of those canoe races or kayak races, but it's sailing boats, and they're sailing. But unfortunately, it's a really bad weather day, and there's like huge waves, which is great for surfing. If you like surfing, these are great surfing waves. They're really great surfing waves. So maybe they should have had a surfing competition. But they don't. They're having a sailing competition. And this is the wrong weather to have a sailing competition. And this one boat got crashed over by the waves, but not too bad, don't worry, because I can see that there are pillows under the water. They're not rocks. They look like rocks, but actually they're cushions. They're meant to protect people who might fall down from their boats. It's really, really safe. You just have to trust me. And the only person racing this race, his boat fell over and he lost, even though he was the only person in the race. And the last contest in this big contest, the last event, I guess, is the chariot race. And this guy, he was like so like cool. He's like, I've got the best chariot, and I got the 2 best horses, and I'm gonna have my girl with me. I'm gonna hold on to my girl, and because she's so pretty, and I'm gonna wear a dress too, which is fine. I think it's totally cool. I mean, I think we ought to be in a society where you should be able to wear whatever is comfortable and whatever you think makes you feel you're like yourself. That's what I think. And that's what, and this guy, you know, he's got his totally sweet girlfriend, and he's got a sweet chariot, and he's got his sweet horses, and they're racing, and they race, and they race and race, and you know what? They won, which is sort of funny, because you see, it was the only event in this contest where someone finished the event, and because he was the only person to finish, he was declared the winner of the whole contest. And the judge from, remember the board judge, he was like, okay, congratulations, you're the winner. And there you go, there he was, and he was declared the winner. That was it. That's the end of the story. And so this is where I tell you, where can you find more about these stories? Well, you can find out on your own, because Greek stories are real stories. So you should go to the library and ask about, hey, where can I find books about Greek stories? And you can find stories like Greek myths, or Greek legends, or Greek plays and dramas, or Greek history. There's lots of amazing, amazing stories, so many stories that you could go to sleep every night if you wanted to, reading those stories. They're so great. And that's what I recommend for Valentine's Day, is for you to learn about Greek stories, because they are really, really cool. So that is going to be the end of our bedtime stories tonight. And you know what I always say. Good night. Good night.